You wake surrounded by darkness. The fabric against your skin, once luxurious, now feels like a burial cloth. Your fingers shake despite the warmth in the chamber. Beyond the closed door, hushed voices drift through the air, spoken in a tongue you have known since birth, yet tonight it sounds unfamiliar, almost alien. You are 15 years old. You are royalty, a princess. And before this night ends, you will understand why that title is not a gift. It is a sentence wrapped in jewels. No fairy tale ever warned you about this moment. Before we descend further into this forgotten chapter, let me pause for a second, because it never ceases to amaze me when I see where all of you are watching from. Leave your country in the comments. A story locked away for 600 years in Ottoman records is now reaching screens across the entire globe. That is the rare kind of magic the internet was meant to create. Now, let us return to the past. The year is 1617. The city is Istanbul, the crown jewel linking 3 continents, the pulsing heart of an empire stretching from the gates of Vienna to the deserts of Yemen. At its core stands Topkapi Palace, a citadel of marble, silence, and secrets. And deep within its walls, hidden behind latticed windows and guarded corridors, exists a realm few outsiders would ever witness, the imperial harem. History remembers it as a place of intrigue and allure, opulent chambers where concubines danced, whispered and schemed, a world where the mothers of sultans exercised unseen power. And that version is not entirely false. But there was another reality, one absent from official chronicles, one poets never dared to immortalize, a truth that survived only in coded medical notes and private letters never meant to be read, passed quietly between women who knew silence was survival. This is the story of the Sultan's daughters, Ottoman princesses born into unimaginable privilege and condemned to unimaginable pain. In the spring of 1617, a girl named Ayşe Sultan turns 12. She is the daughter of Sultan Ahmed I, ruler of the most powerful empire on earth. She has never stepped beyond the palace walls. She has never wandered a public street, touched a merchant's stall, or heard the unguarded laughter of ordinary children. Yet inside Topkapi, she lacks nothing. Tutors instruct her in Arabic, Persian, astronomy, and poetry. Gardens fill with the sound of nightingales at dusk. Silks arrive from Damascus, perfumes from Mecca, sweets glazed with rosewater and flecked with gold. She learns the oud. She studies the heavens with bronze astrolabes. She reads Andalusian poets and debates philosophy with scholars twice her age. By every standard, she is exceptional, and none of it will protect her, because Ayşe is not being prepared to rule, to decide, or to think freely. She is being prepared to be handed over. Within the Ottoman system, princesses were tools of statecraft. Their marriages were never about affection. They were strategic exchanges, political guarantees. A princess married to a powerful pasha secured his loyalty, neutralized threats, rewarded service, and wove bonds that held the empire together. But the price was absolute, complete surrender from the girl herself. So beneath the music lessons and poetry, beneath the praise and luxury, another form of education unfolded. It began quietly, almost gently, and as the wedding approached, it consumed everything. It had a name, Turbe Mubarak, the sacred preparation. When Ayşe turns 14, the decree is announced. She will marry Nasu Pasha, a military commander 30 years her senior, a man she has glimpsed only once, hidden behind a screen during a formal ceremony. His hands are scarred by decades of war. His eyes hold no warmth. She does not object. She has been trained not to. 3 months before the wedding, Aishi is moved to the Gelin Köşkü, the bride's pavilion, a secluded wing of the palace sealed from the outside world. Windows shuttered, doors locked. She will not leave until the ceremony. At first, it resembles preparation. Attendants bring oils and perfumes. Seamstresses measure her for gowns. Cooks prepare delicate dishes. Honeyed figs, almond paste, saffron rice. All of it, they say, to make her glow. Then the instruction begins. Every morning before sunrise, Aishi is led into a windowless chamber draped in heavy cloth. Waiting there is Gulbahar Hatun, the mistress of brides, a woman in her 60s who has overseen the preparation of 17 princesses before her. Her face is gentle, her voice is calm, her demands are relentless. Aishi is instructed in 18 precise forms of formal etiquette: how to kneel, how to lower her gaze, how to arrange her hands when entering a room, serving tea, or resting. She practices for hours, day after day, until her joints ache and her muscles burn. She is taught to move in a new way, slow, controlled, almost floating, her head inclined at exactly 30 degrees, never hurried, never meeting another's eyes. A manner of walking designed to make her presence barely noticeable, even while she moves. Then her voice is restricted. She is given a list of 43 approved expressions: words of gratitude, acceptance, apology, compliance. Any sentence outside this narrow language is discouraged. When instinct leads her to ask a question or express a thought, she is corrected gently at first, then more firmly. Periods of fasting, separation, formal admonishment before the other women of the harem. Aishi adjusts quickly. Quiet becomes her primary mode of communication. But the most difficult lessons take place below the surface. Beneath Topkapi Palace, in chambers that date back to the reign of Mehmed the Conqueror, there are rooms never shown to visitors. Carefully arranged practice suites furnished with beds, cushions, soft lighting, and mannequins. Life-sized figures created by Venetian craftsmen remarkably lifelike, dressed in the garments of Ottoman noblemen. Here, Aishi undergoes what the court refers to as talim, preparation for the wedding night. She is 14 years old. Instructors remain along the walls, offering direction. She is guided through gestures, postures, and expected responses. Each movement is corrected, each hesitation noted. Any difficulty results in repetition. Officially, this preparation is meant to reduce distress, to ready her mind and body, to ensure she fulfills expectations placed upon her by family and state. Yet its deeper purpose is more severe. It is meant to remove hesitation, to leave nothing uncertain, so that when she meets her husband, everything proceeds as intended. Modern psychologists, examining fragmented historical records, describe this process as systematic conditioning, a structured form of psychological shaping intended to encourage obedience through controlled stress. The Ottoman court did not invent harsh discipline, but it refined it, formalized it, and embedded it within ceremony. In the final week before the wedding, Aishi loses her appetite. Attendants coax spoonfuls of honey and milk. Her hands develop a constant tremor. Palace physicians prescribe herbs, valerian, poppy-based mixtures, formulas no longer known. She is bathed in rose water, blended with calming substances, dulling sensation, softening awareness, making the world feel distant, as though her life is unfolding elsewhere. Perhaps, in some way, it is. The wedding day arrives. Istanbul fills with celebration. Music echoes through the streets. Performers fill palace courtyards. Foreign envoys present gifts of ivory and silk. The Sultan hosts a banquet lasting 7 hours. Aishi sits throughout in white and gold, adorned still. Later observers remark that she appeared doll-like, immaculate, detached. At the final toast, she is led to the Zevk Koshku, the nuptial pavilion designed for royal unions. 3 levels: purification baths, final preparation, the inner chamber. The walls display tapestries of conquered cities and subdued rivals. The furnishings are arranged not for comfort, but for order. Structured beds, scented cushions, carefully designed lighting. Nasu Pasha enters, following guidance given by his advisors. He has been instructed on how to establish authority, how to assert his position, how to signal that this marks the end of her former life. What follows is recorded only in coded Persian medical notes. Aishi enters a state physicians describe as sarsantı, profound shock. Her body shakes. She cannot speak. Her eyes remain unfocused. For hours, she does not respond to her surroundings. Her mind retreats. When the marriage is completed, doctors note physical complications, fainting, significant weakness. They fear for her survival. They refer to the condition as ruhun ayrılışı, the departure of the spirit. The Sultan's daughter lives through the night. The girl who loved poetry does not. In the months that follow, she develops what the court calls the sickness of silence. She speaks only when addressed directly and softly. She avoids food. She cries without clear reason. The presence of men causes overwhelming distress, sometimes leading to collapse. Modern medicine would recognize the symptoms immediately: trauma, dissociation, learned passivity. But in 1617, there is no language for this. It is called melancholia, a condition attributed to sensitive women, treated with prayer and herbs. Aishi lives another 23 years. She bears 3 children out of obligation. She attends state events when required, quiet, compliant. In private writings discovered centuries later, she repeats a single sentence in the margins of religious texts. I was not afraid of marriage. I was afraid of the preparation. She dies in 1640 at the age of 37. The cause is listed as brain fever. Few believe the date is coincidental, and she is not alone. When sealed Ottoman archives were opened in 2019, historians uncovered fragments of many similar accounts. Princesses who ceased speaking. Princesses described as divinely troubled. Princesses who died young, their causes vaguely recorded. The pattern is unmistakable. Fatma Sultan, daughter of Ahmed I, married at 15 in 1623. On her wedding night, her cries were reportedly heard far beyond her chambers. Official documents remain silent. Private correspondence does not. She lived on in withdrawal. She died on the anniversary of her wedding. Gevher Sultan married at 13. She never spoke aloud again, communicating only in writing for 41 years. Some attempted resistance. Safiye Sultan petitioned for divorce in 1633. Her request was denied within days. She never spoke of freedom again. But she left messages sewn into her clothing, hidden within decorative patterns. One phrase repeated, "Remember that I did not choose this." Others delayed marriages through illness. One unnamed princess reportedly ended her life before her ceremony. Officially, it was weakness. Privately, the women called it escape. This system was neither accidental nor careless. Turbay Mubarak was not simple tradition. It was deliberate social design, refined over generations to erase individual will. Today, visitors walk through Topkapi Palace admiring tiles, fountains, and treasures. Guides speak of power and splendor. They do not mention the bride's pavilion, the lower chambers, the quiet dismantling. But it occurred. The fear occurred. The loss occurred. The silence occurred. And those who endured it deserve more than forgetting. Fairy tales promise happiness. History tells us something harder, that power often consumes its own, that ceremony can conceal harm, that control wears beauty as disguise. One document from the archives captures it all, written by an unnamed princess. No date, no signature. They prepared me so well that I forgot I was human, and when I remembered, it was too late. The Ottoman princesses cannot speak now, but their silence explains everything.